Dr. Sonia here with Jump First. Today's episode is What's Underneath, okay? With a little eye emoji, because I'm trying to see what is going on, what's underneath of the business, right? What's behind the scenes, what's behind those closed doors sometimes. And so that's what this episode is all about. And it's about like minding other people's business, literally. Now, if you don't know what I do here, again, my name is Dr. Sonia. I talk all things premium courses, whether they are online or face to face, how to take your knowledge, wisdom, life experiences, turn them into the format of courses, luxury coaching, mentorship, brands, and programs so that you can get your message out to the world because you are not supposed to stay what? You're not supposed to stay local. You're supposed to be global, okay? Now, we're not just talking about one-off courses that cost $297 or $497. We're talking about premium brands and we're talking about programs and building those out. And a lot of times what's happening is when you see somebody who's so successful, right? And I've been guilty of this too, especially when I first started. I kind of have grown into this space of knowing better now and really being able to discern and pay attention. So as you grow, right, in business, as you grow in life, as you grow through wisdom and seasons and having discernment spiritually, right, you can start to pick up on cues and signs very quickly. And sometimes you turn around and you're like, man, why was I ever listening to that person, right? Why was I even following that person? What did I see? And it at different points in our lives and different seasons in our lives, there are different things that are there to help us grow, right? Different people, different lessons, different opportunities, all of those things. And so it's the way that we grow through life. And I'm not saying this about every person I've ever followed or every piece of advice I've ever gotten. I'm just saying I know that maybe you can relate to this, right? Especially as a high performer, high achiever. Sometimes we look back and we go, oh my goodness, what was I thinking about? Good morning, Nicholas. It's good to see you on over on IG. If you're watching this on the Jump First Academy YouTube channel, by the way, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like button, bell notification so you know when new episodes like this drop and we can hang out live. Okay. I love interacting with you all. And so I remember like this came about for me. I was doing something the other day. I think I was like steaming rice for Chestnut or something because he wasn't feeling well. And maybe this was like last week at this point. All my days are blurring together. I think it was last week. But I ended up lifting the lid, okay? Too soon. I know you're supposed to let it sit and all those things, but I lifted the lid because I was doing something else and I was in a rush and I was all the things, okay? You know how it goes. And you know how sometimes you're not paying attention the way that you need to be paying attention. So when I lifted the lid, I had a little bit of a like a steam burn, right? Like it hit me real quick, the steam, and I was like, right, that kind of burn. Well, I went on about my usual business, my day, continuing through getting Chestnut ready, doing what I needed to do. And when I went to go wash the pan out or rinse the pan out, the water hit the burn. Okay, the steam burn. Now I couldn't see anything. There was nothing physically there, but I could feel it. I could feel the burn. And it took me back to when I was a kid. I was probably like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old. I appreciate the hearts. Thank you. I appreciate that, Ben. Thank you. Thank you for the compliments. And so I was probably like 6 or 7 years old, and I remember touching the stove. And I was always one of those curious kids. I always, and it's carried me through into adulthood. I'm still a very curious person. So I ask questions, I go seeking answers, I go try to find stuff out, I research. This is why I'm a researcher by nature, all of these things. And so I remember my parents telling me, don't touch the stove. But of course, curious kid me, I touched the stove one day, just out of the blue. I don't even know why I did it, but I remember it very vividly. My mom had just finished cooking something, and I was like, well, I'm just going to find out for myself, right? Touched the stove. Didn't I don't remember any physical burn marks, but I do remember the same kind of thing. Like it would burn when I went to go like run water on it or something brushed up against it, right? I can still kind of feel the sensation to this day. And that's funny, sidebar, like how it's not funny, haha, but it's like funny because it's funny how we remember certain feelings about experiences that we went through and not necessarily the totality of the experience, right? Like those things that stick with us. Those are things you should be teaching from. Pro tip, okay? But with that being said, it's like what is on the inside? What's underneath? How can we relate this to business? How can we relate this to premium courses? Being able to look online, we see the highlight reels on social media of what people are building out, what people are going through to do it, but we don't know what's underneath. And I'm not saying that there's a failing business underneath. I'm saying that sometimes even when we see the success, we don't know what is actually creating the success. And so we can try our best to go emulate or replicate, right, what we see happening on the surface. But if we don't understand what's happening underneath, if we don't understand, and sometimes everybody's story is not our story. Okay. Nobody else's story is like yours. Pro tip. by the way, for your courses. But if we don't understand what's happening underneath, nobody else's story is our story. So we don't know what they had to go through to get that thing that they have, the success that they have, okay? Or if we want to go through that in order to get it. By the way, I was reading James chapter 4 this morning. All right, and this correlates, like all of it flows together. And it was really about the fact that God's will is God's will for our lives. Some of the challenges, some of the experiences that we've had, and I just talked about, the feelings and the sensations that stay with us even after the experience is over. It's kind of like that. Like if we knew everything that we would have to go through in order to achieve the vision, achieve, do God's will for our lives, like live in accordance to and alignment with what He has for us, would we do it? Would we do it? There was an excerpt that was related to James 4, and I don't remember the author of it, but again, this was during my study this morning, my Bible study meditation that I love to do every morning. There was an excerpt from someone who was like, the point that they made was, we get to a door sometimes and the door is closed. We get to a window sometimes, the window is closed. We want to see what's on the other side before we are willing to walk through it, right? Walk through the door. We want to make our own judgments. We want to make our own decisions about, am I going to open this door or not? Am I going to go to the other side or not? When God is just asking for obedience, okay? So it's that. It's what's underneath. What are the things that you've had to go through in your life? What are the challenges, the experiences, things that you have experienced in your life, things that you have learned from, the lessons that you have derived from your life experiences are all so unique. And there's somebody else out there who needs to hear them how only you can tell it. But again, if we wait, and all of this flows together, right? Because if we wait to try to figure out, do I want this experience or not, right? But we know it's necessary. And sometimes in the moment, we don't know it's necessary to get us where we need to go. Like, who would have thought at age 6 or 7, when I burned my hand on the stove, that I would be telling that story today, right? No idea. But it goes with what we're talking about today. It goes with the fact that you have unique experiences, you have unique lessons, you have unique wisdom that you could be teaching to someone else. And you don't have to replicate somebody else's story to do that. You don't have to replicate the challenges and experiences that somebody else went through in order to do that. You can literally utilize your story, your unique experiences, mistakes that you made, lessons that you've learned, the wisdom you've gained to help somebody else, okay? And tell it in your way. You can build your course business the way you want to build it. It doesn't have to look like anyone else's. And while some of the strategies may be similar that you are using, it's the way that you apply them that will probably be different because of your life experiences, because of your wisdom, your lessons, and how you're putting together your programs. Okay. So this is why I enjoy helping people build out premium courses, helping people teach from their life experiences, because every course is unique. I love it here. Okay. Every single course that I help build out is unique, even if the topic is similar. Even it could be the same exact topic. The course always turns out differently because of the experiences, the wisdom that are coming from the unique individual. That's what makes the course unique. That's what makes the program unique. And remember, we're not just building out one-off courses. We're building out programs. We're building out sustainable, transformative programs, mentorship brands, okay, coaching brands that truly help people get the transformation they're looking for. They help people go deeper because you had to let me like put this here. The experiences that you went through, do not minimize them to just talking about the experience, right? Like it's not just that. It's the wisdom. Like what's the lesson you can distill from the things that you went through? Just like the burn on my hand, right? There was a lesson in that. Like again, I didn't know that when I was 6 or 7 when it happened, but as I have accumulated lessons or accumulated time spent living this life, just growing and living through life, I can look back on that and go, oh, there's a lesson there that I can distill, right? And teach my wisdom from that, right? It applies to something else that somebody else may be going through. So hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully this inspires you forward. But I needed to bring that really quickly. Like, don't try to replicate surface level things that you see happening online, whether they are the things, the successes that you want, the achievements that you want, the strategies that you're looking at. Like, see how do you apply your life lessons, your wisdom, right, to what it is that you are building out. Because you never know what's going on underneath. It could be a good thing or a bad thing, right? You never know what's going on behind closed doors, as my grandmother used to always say. Growing up, I heard that all the time. and now I get it as an adult, right? You never truly know. So focus on yours, focus on what you're building. And if you need some help with that, I'm teaching some advanced strategies live today. Check it out, jumpfirstacademy.org/VIP. Get in the room. It's happening at noon Eastern time. I'm really excited to be teaching about pricing premium courses, how to package your knowledge, wisdom, and life experiences so that you can create something that's sustainable, a program that's sustainable and transformative for the people you really want to teach. And if you're somebody like, I don't have expertise, I don't know what my course topic is going to be, I promise you, what you're passionate about, what you know the most about, you can turn that into a premium course. Okay. People are doing it every single day. The folks that I get to work with, as well as myself, I've been doing this since 2018. So I'm really, really excited to help you, to teach you more about how to turn your life experiences into something that can truly benefit and transform the lives of somebody, of other people, transform the lives of some of other people. Why do I want to keep saying somebody? Some transform the life of somebody or the lives of other people. Okay. To learn more, again, jumpfirstacademy.org/VIP. If you cannot make it to today's session, you can still go to jumpfirstacademy.org/VIP to check the schedule and see when there will be an upcoming one. In the meantime, you can check out the on-demand training at jumpfirstacademy.org. Okay, lots of resources over there to help you execute and implement as you get started. I love y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Jatori, hello, hello. I appreciate you. Cheyenne, hello, hello. I appreciate y'all so much. And if you are new here, welcome. Okay, if you haven't already hit the subscribe button, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button, like button, bell notification so you know when new episodes like this drop. And if you are returning, welcome back. It's all love always. All right. I love y'all so much. I will see y'all back here tomorrow. Let me go finish my coffee.